Hello and good day to you, and welcome to Manny's Humble RC. Well, we got this Nitro Slash. Let's see what she needs to get her up and running to her former glory, whether frame off restoration or just a few things to get her back on the road. But first, let's take the body off. There we go. Alright, so as you saw in the short, or you probably didn't, but quick backstory, we found this on Marketplace for 80 bucks. And gentleman said it was running. It was good. We're going to do an assessment and see what she needs to get her running again and enjoyable for a subscriber, because I'd like to get this up to par to do a giveaway, because I really enjoy restoring these rigs. Sometimes a little bit more than just running them. So let's see if she needs anything. Let's go ahead and take a seat and figure out what we got here. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Now, right off the bat, I see air filter seen better days. The rims are different colors. That seems to turn lovely. Bearings seem good. Got everything spinning nicely. Glow plug wire has seen way better days. So change that. Head cover. She is dirty, very much so, dirty. Bottom end doesn't look so bad. Usually this is all scraped up. So she's got some play, but not very much at all. So I see that we'll have to clean it up really good. I'm thinking of opening up this engine as well, because I'm not going to give something that's going to leave them hanging. I want to bring back the Nitro, encourage people to get into it and enjoy their rigs. We need a back cover for the battery, a little cover here for the easy start. It's a little mangled. Shocks are great. Actually look like they were just put on. This didn't get much use. But we're going to go ahead and put her where she needs to go. It looks like she needs very little, actually. I could possibly do a video, turn it all apart, just to get all the dirt out of it. But I've got to do a video of opening up this engine to see if it's good inside. So I think we're going to head and do that and take the engine off and check it out. There we go. All right, let's look up at this engine. Let's go ahead and move this to the side. Always keep your screws in one place. Sometimes they get stuck on the easy start motor. All right, let's open up this engine and make sure it's ready to run, and whoever gets it can enjoy her. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's grab your tools, prepare yourself for success, and let's look at this engine. Like anything in life, you go ahead and take a step back and look at what you need, assess the situation, and use your critical thinking. Look at what's working, what's not working, what can be adjusted, what can be modified, what could be left behind. Life is about progress. Life is about getting better and better. We all can do it. We're just as important as the next person. And we deserve to give ourselves what we give everyone else. There is a way of doing that without being selfish. But at the end of the day, if we don't take care of ourselves and love ourselves, other than God, who will? Because we all have a life. Your family loves you. Everyone loves you. But they also have their own life to live. And of course, where they decided to flip this thing on its head, caused the head protector to get in the way of the screw coming out. Now be good to us, because we want to get you running. There we go. All right, Put that to the side. All those to the side. Now, first thing we're gonna do is take off this header. Some people don't want to see individuals taking out screws, but the process is what makes it matter. So it makes it enjoyable. There's processes that take us to success, and this process that takes us to learning, to building, to being better people. Okay, I see there's a screw there. Could be that they put a hole. Some people like to drill a hole in these to keep lubricating their one-way bearing. Me personally, I prefer not to allow dirt to get inside in any orifice. So let's go ahead and see. I may have to get a new Easy Start cover. There's one thing I like about Traxxas, that their parts are cheap and they're just about everywhere. And everything's easier to work on. As you see, I prefer Traxxas just for the fact that, like I just said, they're easier to work on, parts are cheap, and they're pretty much everywhere. If you prefer OFNA, if you prefer Habel, if you prefer HPI, if you prefer Red Cat, if you prefer Hosim, doesn't matter. You like it, you enjoy it, you understand it, you can work on it. That's what matters. Okay. That looks decent. Yep, that's what they did. They got a little hole in there just to be able to keep lubricating their one-way bearing. I'm not liking the color that's in here. We're gonna look at that, and we're gonna look at it very well. Let's take off our cylinder head. And what I like to do with this, just to make sure it goes back in the same spot, I like to mark my exhaust port on that side there. I like to know it's going back exactly where it came out of. It's just peace of mind later on. This may not be directional, but some cylinder heads, cooling heads, are directional for the airflow. So it's just good practice to make sure the head goes back in the same place it came out of. When you remove these, cross pattern, because it is aluminum, and you could warp it, and then you have a head in between, a leak in between the head and the block, and that's it. Might as well get another engine or buy another cylinder head. They're like 50, 60 bucks, and it's no fun. For that, use the Traxxas Power Up program, get another 3.3 for 120 instead of the 250 that it costs, pretty much with taxes, if you don't have an old engine to bring in as a core. So let's see. Yeah, all right. Actually, that looks really clean, other than the dirt, of course. But it hasn't been run hot. This isn't all blue, dark blue, black. It's not ugly or anything. So just a little cleaning around here on the shim. This actually looks like a very good running engine, like it was taken care of, at least for whoever had it prior to us. So let's look at that. Let's take off our back plate. I don't see any scoring at the moment. If you don't want to go as far as taking out the sleeve and the piston to check your pinch, you can put your piston about at that center, put your thumb over this, and you can feel the compression pushing up on your thumb. And that sounds very good. But we're gonna open this up anyways to make sure we don't have any bad connecting rod, or what a lot of people want to bash these 3.3s about is the connecting rod breaking in two. But to be honest, that usually happens when the engine is ran too lean, either by tuning or a blockage in the fuel line, blockage in the tank, or a blockage in your carburetor. And if it starts at a fuel, it does run lean. That's why some individuals prefer to use quite frequently a temp gun, just to make sure you're not getting too hot. And you don't want to lose the shim that's in here. That's your little shim there for your proper spacing or your one bar bearing and your easy start system. So let's pull off this back plate, wiggle a little bit. Look at the seal, that looks good. Got a little bit of carbon on there. That's quite all right. We can clean that off with a brass brush, not steel, brass. So let's look at this. This looks really good, this connecting rod. If you take a set of pliers here and gently, you don't want to be squeezing the life out of it. You take some pliers here and gently grab your connecting rod. You can feel the shimmy back and forth like this if it's got any play, and it does not. Same thing if you up and down. You can also do it if you don't want to use this and risk marring the connecting rod. You can do it by taking out the entire crankshaft, which we can do at the moment. And we just grab a thin flathead. Just grab it out of our Traxxas kit here. 25 bucks, it's not bad. You save up. It's got pretty much everything you need to work on these engines. That's what I like about Traxxas. They provided things like this. Yeah, you gotta pay a little bit more. It's not just by the Allen keys that they give you. Those are helpful. But if you want to do things like this, I enjoy restoring things, no matter what it is. I've restored old cars or newer cars that just been abused and abandoned. I used to be an auto tech, certified auto tech, in engine disassembly, reassembly, exhaust systems, intake systems, fuel systems, suspension. Quite a few certifications, but those have to be recertified every time. Every couple of years, if the manufacturer wants to come out with something new. And ever since my accident, I haven't been able to recertify because I just don't have the physical means, if you will, to get back underneath the car. Our bodies just tell us when it's enough, and it's enough. We got good clutches here, although they sat for a while. So we see here that spring, it's rusted. So if we ran this for too long or any amount of time, that spring will pretty much snap. And if you saw my other videos, you can probably take care of it making a own loop. But there's too much of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. And the clutch looks great, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a new clutch kit because I want to gift this to someone. I want to help the community, and I want to start by how I can now. And I speak to individuals everywhere I see them to try to help them keep going, because I don't much encourage people. I try to open their eyes to who they really are already. Once they see who they really are, the encouragement comes on its own. The motivation comes on its own. When you start loving yourself and seeing your skills, your qualities, your attributes, what makes you you, motivation comes afterwards. And I want to give this to somebody, one of the subscribers, and hopefully they enjoy it. I don't want to give garbage away. That might as well. I throw away garbage. I don't give garbage. So let's go ahead and take off this clutch kit. Just pull up on that. Now, if you don't want to completely screw this up, that's fine. I get it. You know, some people use pliers, like an old shirt or something, which is not bad. They got the puller on Amazon for like 10 bucks, I think it is, or on eBay. I don't have no puller, and I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Put a shirt here, and we're gonna grab it. And if you don't have one of these, just use a 1/4 inch socket with an 8mm or 5/16 socket on there and your ratchet. Or if your hands hurt, that socket will give you a little bit more leverage because if it's a 90-degree angle. So you can still go ahead and remove this. Squeeze tight and remove. That was on there pretty snug. So now, got that. Take off your lock nut. They have pullers as well. You can gently tap flywheel 180 center gaze out. Gently tap it. It should have come up by now, so that means someone over tightened that lock nut. This one has the magnet in it. That's why I said gently tap it. Because if you lose that magnet, it throws off the balance on your flywheel. And that does cause damage internally to the engine and bearings. This one you can use RPM sensor for. So let's put that here. Your collar. You use your same flathead. Now be careful here. You got to grab it and make sure it doesn't spin on you. And in that slit there, you put your flathead and give it a little twist. It'll open it up and make it easier to come out. But you got to make sure you grab it properly so you don't slip and end up poking yourself and wishing you never started doing this job to begin with. So we get it in there, nice smooth, twist a little bit, and it gives you enough so that you can grab it from the bottom and pull it off. It also opens it up so when you put it back on, you get a better tension. You can go like this, squeeze, twist, twist, and it opens up that collar. All right, so now we grab our little pliers again. Let's turn this down, bring it up to top dead center, lightly grab with your pliers until it slides off of your, as you see I'm doing it lightly until it comes off of your crankshaft. I don't believe in beating things up or abusing them. Usually they pop out, but I did that. Why? Nitro guys know why it didn't come out. Answering the questions in the comments. Answer that question in the comments. Why didn't it come out? Well, I'm gonna show you in 2 seconds when it came out. If it did, you didn't need to replace that engine. But it didn't. So you keep your engine top dead center. Chopsticks. These are perfect for removing piston sleeves. Absolutely perfect. Grab the big end. You move your piston all the way up so you can't see the skirt of the piston in there. Then in the corners in here, you push up. And there comes your sleeve. We are going to inspect that. All right. Now, piston and connecting rod. Oh, that was easy, wasn't that, Manny? Yeah, it was. We're going to inspect that too. Connect in your crankshaft, just like that. If it's hard, kind of tap a little bit or tap it down like this on something like wood, preferably, so the wood would get the indentation and not this. And then you can go ahead and put your pinky in here, and if you feel, oh, this is smooth, this engine couldn't have been old. Probably just ran it in the dirt one time, and that's why we got all this crud here on the outside. But this is very smooth. Very smooth. You feel the grit in there, and you know off the bat, let's change it. Because your bearings are going to say, sayonara, see you later, catch you on the next one. If you feel that grit and you want to start running it at 30,000 RPMs. So let's go ahead and put that to the side. And the most important part. Now it sounded good, right? We heard the compression when I spun it over. Sleeve doesn't look so bad so far. Well, let's go ahead and this indentation here goes to your boost port. That faces the front, the carburetor section of the engine. That's where that goes. We slide that in there. And let's see where the piston starts to stop. I'm gonna gently push right there. Right there starts to stop. And I have to apply more force. More force, more force, more force, and that's it. So we got quite a bit of space there. If this would have gone all the way to the top and obviously popped out, we got a problem. We need a new piston sleeve, and for $70 and then $30 for new bearings, That's $100. Just take your old engine, complete, just like this other one here is. Keep your flywheel, of course, but take your engine like that with your back plate, leave the carb on there and everything, get a complete brand new engine for $120. And I prefer to restore, but we gotta get our money's worth. $70 for a piston and sleeve, no connecting rod. This was $30, so now you got $100 there. New bearings, that's $130. The time and patience and the desire to do it, it's priceless. Yeah, let's just spend $120 and get a new engine, do the braking period, and enjoy our rig. But we got great pinch here. Now I'm pushing this. This ain't going nowhere. Now. Get it out. Okay. So we got beautiful pinch. Beautiful pinch. We look at the piston. We don't see scarring. We don't see any dirt that got in there, and you start seeing gashes in there, if you will. Lines everywhere. This actually looks really good. Inside, we got great, just absolutely beautiful. This engine is a great engine. And you're looking at my stand and saying, what are we doing here? Well, before I put this back together, we're gonna clean everything up. I use rubbing alcohol, clean everything up, clean the workstation, and then clean it and put it together on something nice and clean so we don't get no dirt in here. So let's go ahead and clean up our workstation. And there we go. Clean everything up nicely. Get everything running. Get everything clean. Get your block clean. I don't go too crazy with it because some chemicals can ruin stuff. And generally try to clean everything outside. You remove your bearings and all that. These are great. The engine looks great. As you can see, I took care of the head button there. Rubbing alcohol, that's all we need. A little bit of rubbing alcohol. And some patience. I mean, this is not just a hobby. You know, for me it's a bit of a stress reliever. And I get to continue doing what I love, which is working on cars. These are like real cars. So took care of the head button. As you saw, it was dirty, not attractive. We took care of the starter shaft. If you saw that, it was pretty much gummed up with some carbon, pretty ugly. Same thing with our crankshaft. We took care of that. And then all we have to do is oil it before it starts to get rusty on us. So what I got here, I just pick up some 2-stroke oil, synthetic 2-stroke oil. Like this is the VP one, synthetic, just 2-stroke oil, and I put it on the crankshaft, all inside. Just make sure it's very well lubed up, it's coated. Same thing here in the front. And do that. The crankshaft is good, so we can slide it into the engine. Push or pull here, and it's nice and smooth. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So then we're gonna grab here our piston. What I do with the piston, same thing. We went through it, we checked it out, and I recommend that you get a bobby pin or pin like this, and make sure you go through the bottom like this, the oiling hole. Make sure there's no crud or anything in that hole, just to make sure that it gets lubrication. They don't have one on top anymore like they used to. There used to be one on top, and you take out your E-clip and your wrist pin and you clean that one out too. But they don't have that anymore. They have that one there. So what do you do? Remember, the notch faces the carburetor side. So we bring up the crankshaft to high noon, and we gently try to slide our, oh, didn't work. Don't worry, this isn't gonna hurt anything. We try to line up the connecting rod like that. Before I push it all the way down, I put some of that 2-stroke oil in here to make sure when we fire it up again, it's going to be very well lubricated. There we go. And now we gently slide to 6 o'clock. And on our sleeve, I do the same thing. Put some oil on the outside. Just make it easier to install it. And I put some on the inside because we don't want this piston going up and down dirty or without anything to lubricate it. These have a notch. That notch there goes to the notch right here. Line it up and gently push down. Just line it up first. Just get more of this 2-stroke down here. Not enough. Don't force anything. Nothing in life should be forced. If it's yours, it'll arrive. Don't push for anything and make it seem like you have to have it. Stop and think. Assess the situation. Is this going to add value to my life? Or should I modify my approach? Sometimes that's all it takes. All right. Nice and smooth. I guess this one. Let's put some in here. I like those tolerances. I like it to be low tolerance, even though you need more patience when it comes to the assembly, because you don't want this sleeve bouncing around also inside your block. So let's go ahead. There we go. Make sure that it's nice and set. Make sure that we're straight there. Okay. There is nothing in here impeding you from going inside. Okay. So let's play ball, because if you came out of there, you can go in there. You see? You stop. Take time. Look at your situation. Check it out. Don't lose your head, because when you lose your head, you lose half the battle. So what you want to do is look inside there and wiggle the piston around. Sometimes you tilt the engine while you do this, and it allows the piston to slide into the sleeve. We don't need you coming up. There we go. Slide it until you get to high noon again, and line up your notch with the pin in your block. Twist it there, and boom, we got it. That's nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Beautiful. Now, back plate. Got as much of that off as I could. The same thing here. A little bit of 2-stroke oil right here. I put some already earlier because I got ahead of myself. But you don't want this spinning on this bushing without that lubricity. It would just eat out that bearing, and then you got a lot of play in here. And that'll also say bye-bye to your engine. See you later. It was nice knowing you. You can either do this with the connecting rod at 6 o'clock or at high noon. So that's a good pinch. Let's put it at high noon. These notches go to the top. In the porting video, I'll show you how to do a slight modification to these notches. What these do is help the airflow be a little bit more turbulent for atomization. That's why tuning is important. But I'll show you a quick mod for this in the porting. Put this notch right in dead center and pull back with your fingers here. You're holding it, pull with your fingers so it stays there. You have this in high noon. You go ahead and put that to the top and it slides right in. If it doesn't, you can wiggle this until it makes a click. But right now, that went right where it's supposed to go. When you tighten up your bolts, always in a cross pattern. So whatever you are tightening will go in smoothly, correctly, without warping everything. It applies even pressure when you do this. And I grabbed my wrong driver. When you go to school, they teach you that everything and anything based on the size and the grade of the fastener, it has its own torque specifications already. Like for aviation or helicopters, they tell you once your bolt gets down flush, a quarter to half turn, and it's at the specified torque. Not every time you have a torque wrench on you. Some things are getting too technical, and I believe always start with the basics. Start with the basics. Don't overcomplicate the situation. It's a situation because it's already complicated. So keep your mind cool and assess the situation. So I got this one down. It stopped. 1/8 of a turn there. 1/8 of a turn, because that's all it's asking for. 1/8 of a turn. Stopped. 1/8 of a turn. That's it. Nice and tight. Grab your shim, because you need your shim. Put that back there. That's ready to roll. Now, you can place your easy start at the moment, but I want to clean that and hopefully find another cover for it. Although this isn't a big deal, I saw that it actually is dead center and it is covered very well. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people do this just so they can lubricate their bearing. Sometimes the needle bearings in there get stuck in the one-way bearing. But I'd like to clean it up and open it up. Not in this video because it'd be too long. And add some new white lithium grease. And you know, I just like to, if it doesn't need it, there's no need to spend money. Because we work hard for it. Remember, we're trying to enjoy this without having to treat it like if it's a 57 Chevrolet Bel Air and we're doing a frame off restoration. Okay, that can be very expensive. And so, but it wouldn't hurt a little bit of cleaning, a little dressing up, a little inspection. So I'm not going to put that on there right now, but we're going to keep this bearing here. Now the carburetor, cleaned it up. So we're going to go ahead and same thing. A little bit of your 2-stroke oil. Not only want to lubricate the seal, but ensure that it goes in properly. You inspect the seal that's in here. If it see little strings or anything, change it. They're, I believe, $2 or $1.25 for the pack of the seals here. Carburetor rebuild kit is not much either. I look them up at gravesrc.com. It's my local hobby shop. It's a great hobby shop. If it's produced, they have it. If not, they can get it. So we wiggle this slightly, pushing down fashion, and make sure you orientate your carburetor at the 10 degrees that it's supposed to have. It's not dead parallel with the block face here. It's got about a 10 degree. And we want that. So when you go to tighten up, well, let's see, it's the 5.5. Let's put this on the driver. Let's go ahead and take care of this. And you want to make sure you're pressing down closer angle. You're pressing down on the body here. Not like you're trying to Hulk it, but you press it down on the body and then tighten and snug the clamp screw. It's a pass through with a nut at the end, but we want to go with as tight and snug. That's it. If not, forget it. You're gonna over tighten this. You're gonna break the plastic body, and then $16 for a body, or $40 for the carburetor, or the $20 one in Amazon that's pretty much the same but doesn't have this collar around the high needle screw. It cost effectiveness. Okay, so then we got this clean, we got this beautiful, we got this looking nice. And the head shim, I did not risk going crazy with it. I put it back the same way that it comes out. If this side was facing down, that side's facing down. When you add things or you separate them, they make impressions in one another, and sometimes it affects it. But I'm getting too far out there. It's just a shim. But anyways, let's enjoy this. Put your E for exhaust on your exhaust port and line up, and then we can drop in some screws. I put them all at the same time, and if you find it difficult, you can always just look through the fins, and you can see through the fins the top of the head screw. And there we go. Now it looks like I'm going crazy on it, but I'm not. Only until it gets close to the bottom. Very slowly. Felt slight tension, and then we do a cross fashion. Okay, cross fashion, and soon that goes up. Felt tension there. We're gonna stop. Same thing. This. I'm just, as you see, I'm throwing it and letting it spin. Up, tension, stop. I put it in here. Same thing. I let the driver keep spinning. It just stops. Go back to our first one. Now, half a turn. 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 Now we can do the final torquing. Why don't just drive one all the way down now that they're all seated? This is aluminum. A hairline crack, and that's all it takes. So just do it even all the way up. We're there. Let's take care of it. There's your quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Quarter turn. Now we got our head in place. Opened up our collar. So now we can slide it down. Now we gotta push it all the way down, you see? Good. Take our flywheel here. And I mentioned to mark it in another short. Mark your flywheel. So let's get the piston top dead center. You can see clearly into the exhaust port. So now the piston's top is bottom dead center. So we're gonna push in our flywheel. Mark it up. Take our Sharpie. And mark it. I happen to mark it where the magnet is for the RPM sensor, but that's okay. It is what it is. Now, we go ahead and mark it. I like to mark it with that line that's on the crank. This line right here. When that's there, it's bottom dead center. If you watch that short, you'll understand why. So let's grab our lock screw here. And first, to make sure nothing slides, nothing moves, we're still bottom dead center. Grab our tool here by hand. Get it going. Then we go ahead and do the old shirt trick until I can get a flywheel holding tool. So I went to a different hobby shop because it was on the way home, and I regret it because they didn't have it, and I know if I went to Graves, it would have been on Graves. No, let's just go here. It's on the way. Negative. Sometimes when something works, let it keep working. So just grab this tightly, and all right, we're good. I didn't mutilate it. It ain't pretty, but I didn't mutilate it. All right. Look at that. This is how you know you got good pinch. See how it pushes back on that flywheel? That's great pinch. That's the compression, because we still have a glow plug in there. That's the compression. That's what you want. That's how you know you got good compression. It pushes it right back. So listen to that. Beautiful. It doesn't hurt. Wow. That's what you want. Great compression. This is going to be a good running engine for someone. So see, we got to get a head protector, because that one has seen way better days. We got the new clutch here. That was 10 bucks. It was the same one that I did on the other video about if your clutch springs break. It was in the package, so got that. I use the same clutches. Idiot. Sometimes you need to put a shim back here if it's rubbing against your clutch bell, but it's not. Let's grab a head. The C-clip, little pliers in between there and the clip, or the E-clip rather. And there you go. Lined up and spinning like a champ. Now, all we need here is to clean up your easy start, get a new top plate, and the other items that I've mentioned. Before I install that engine, we have to take care of this. That is hideous. Absolutely hideous. Get some better light in here. No bueno. So on my next video, we'll tear this down, clean it up as much as I need to tear it down, and then put it all back together. Get it ready for the winning subscriber. If you guys want to see more videos of me restoring these rigs to give them away, let me know in the comments. I don't know if I can't afford to go ahead and get new ones, but you know, maybe if time allows, I enjoy restoring these things, and maybe we can make it work. I enjoy restoring anything where someone thinks it's no good. I like to restore it and bring it back to its former glory. So if you want to see more restorations and things like that, or if you want me to find them, I get good deals, obviously. You see the shorts. Find them, bring them back to their former glory, make them beautiful, make them running, make them available, and just give them away. It doesn't matter if it's a 500, give away 1,000, 2,000. I don't see in waiting like that. If I find one, I make the content. You have the documented series of it, so you can see what was done, what wasn't done, what it needs, what it doesn't need, or what you may think it needs or doesn't need, but you got video proof of what was done to the rig, so you can always go back to it as reference, and then I give it away. Find another one, do a couple videos, and then give it away. Even if I only gained 5 subscribers, give it away. I don't want to have 200-300 RCs. I love the hobby, but I can only use one at a time. So this isn't for me to collect a bunch of RCs, even if one day I do get sponsored or endorsed by a specific company or anything. It's not to get a whole bunch of them. It's to bring people back into the love of the RC. It's good, clean fun. So if you want to see more of this, let me know, please. As always, be safe out there.